Hello everyone, and welcome to our second match of the day, Eternal versus Golden Wolves. We have Slow kicking us off on the Cenobite against the survivors of Team Eternal, and Slow finds the cube. And now the fun and the snowball begins. I think this is the first time we've seen Golden Wolves playing the Cenobite. The Cenobite, this was Eternal's pick. We didn't get to talk about it at all because we don't have time for campfire chat. Golden Wolves, they need to either win or lose this match within the next hour of me saying this. So we're gonna be trying to speedrun this match, and it's gonna be interesting. The chain hunt.
Yeah,
Chain hunt is doing chain hunt.
Really going for the getting that box so early on and having the impaling wire as well. If you break one of the chains with the environment, it spawns so many more, and it's just so annoying to deal with. So really nice jukes of the chains by Eternal survivors here, not letting that extra slowdown happen. But we do see a good pallet drop here. Adam has found the box. The chain hunt is over, and getting a little bit harassed by the chains a bit here. We do get the hit onto Zaka here, and we should be able to get a tag unless we have a pallet around the corner here, but no, we are going to get a hit here. That box is going to get solved by Nightlight over across the ways here. And we hear a little bit of like split gen pressure up on the main building and out in the street here, so sort of splitting up the pressure as much as possible early on, which is good.
Yeah, and right now, Shack Pallet going down, Zaka injured in this chase. We just heard way too many chains being broken. There were like 5 or 6 there from the sounds of it. But these generators, despite everything, are still getting worked on, and now we're entering a chase with Dan, who I believe this is the first time we've seen him all night. So this new addition to the roster, this new inflection of energy. Obviously the rest of these players have been playing for the last 3 hours, and so many generators have so many progress on them.
I'm surprised that Slow's even going to contest this main building gen here, just aside from the fact that we do have an injured survivor here, which is obviously what we want to go for here. Not really getting any sort of time to set up the main building at all as well, which can be really difficult. But a beautiful chain by Slow there is going to be able to slow them down a bit to be able to get the down maybe, but
ooh,
a beautiful head-on play.
That head-on. Honestly, I haven't been paying attention for the last several moments because I have to do stuff on the side, but that head-on was so nice in stopping that chase onto, I believe it was Zaka.
Yeah, no, Zaka's going to be able to use and abuse this main building really, really well now. Also, with the gen already being completed here, it's a very safe spot for Eternal to take the chase to, as you don't really have to worry too much about having your active generators getting pressured here. So really insane off the rip from Eternal. And we have a 3rd gen popping.
3 generators done, not a single hook. Things aren't looking too good for Slow. And you would think with all of that time to prepare, Slow might be playing a little bit better. Eternal, sure, they're warmed up from the previous match, but they've got to be exhausted by this point. They've been playing for so long. And we do have Zaka getting the hit with the chains once again. I doubt this is going to be a down. Royalty is still here. And this is just so well played from the survivors of Eternal.
Yeah, it's already so difficult to be taking a chase at the main building, but to have survivors making head-on plays, taking body blocks as well is just it's near impossible. Now Zaka is obviously going to have to mend again with the original pin, I believe that add-on is off the top of my head, but Nightlight taking a tag here as well. Keeping all the survivors injured for as much as possible is really going to help Slow out in the long run here with that sloppy Thana combo. Unfortunate whiff for the chain there onto our survivor here, but still manages to get the down here around this reasonably safe pallet, I would say, but it'll be the first hook for Slow, and a good chance to sort of get back on pace here, but Eternal's just gonna say a big hell no to that as another gen is just about to pop.
Oh, thank God. I was worried that we'd have another spectator bug. And I will say, I don't know how you continue to talk through the voice lines, but the voice lines always throw me off whenever it comes to like casting. Whenever he says something in game, I just feel like I have to stop because of like I can't talk over another person that well.
I know, right?
But yeah, one generator left. First hook of the game. This is not looking good for Slow.
No, it's really, really not, unfortunately, but they have managed to get all the resets off as well. Dan in chase here. Noed might help out Slow a bit here and getting some late game stages, but aside from that, Eternal have just come into this way too strong for Golden Wolves to keep up with.
Yeah, and oh, the body block from Zaka. You love to see it. And we do have the chains coming through. I believe it hit both survivors there with the chains. And we do have Zaka just trailing behind. One of these survivors is going to go down. And it is going to be Zaka, but the adrenaline! The adrenaline! Oh, we should have known that Eternal were going to pull something like this. Oh boy, I don't even think a Noed can save you now.
Honestly, like, without No Way Out, having the Noed pick instead, like, we should get that down there though, but god damn, dude, we hear the door getting open just over here as well. Oh, Cornet here, but we might not be able to make it in time. The chains get broken too quickly as we force the survivor out. We've got our first out. We do have some stages to collect. This is going to be a fresh hook here, so could result in a total of 4 stages unless we can catch anyone else before getting out, but I do not think that I don't think that's gonna happen at all. No, we do see the 3 out and the final result being a 4 stage for So.
I'm doing math. Give me a second.
Come on, Will, you got this.
You see, the one thing about doing all this by hand is it takes time. However, and then I also have to keep up with production stuff. Like, I have to go to the match over and then the campfire chat, and I still don't have the score.
Well, while Will's calculating up the score there, can we just get a quick big shout out to Will, who not only has to co-cast with me of all people, but doing the scores by hand on a piece of paper with 4 screens in front of him, having to do all of the hard work while I just get to sit here and look pretty. Will is honestly putting his heart and soul into the end of the season here, so let's just show a bit of love for Will here while he brings us the score from this first game.
All right, score is 18-20, or not 18-10. 18-10. It is 18-10, not 18-20. 18
so it's 18-10
yes.
In favor of Eternal going into the second game here. So we're going to be seeing Eternal responding with their Cenobites with an 8-point lead to work with, which I'm sure is very, very manageable. So we're going to see how that plays out right after this quick break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to game 2 of round 1. Starting off with Slow double vaulting a window for some reason. But we've got Zaka playing the Cenobite against the survivors of Golden Wolves, Slow Galeo, Rin, Chrissy, and Mad, whose name should have been updated. That's not a major rule infraction, but it is an infraction that I will have to talk to him about after this match. It's not minus points or anything. It's just, yeah, someone's in trouble. Not really. I'll just have to remind him to change his name for next game.
Holy. Can I just say though, Zaka is going absolutely insane with these chain shots here. Getting 2 tags already onto Mad and Chrissy here. In the corrupt side of the map here though, We do have our injured Zarina taking the chase. We got the water tower pallet being early dropped, but we find the box here. So both of our Cenobites being able to find the box relatively early on here. Oh my, look how many chains there are, Will.
I counted at least 8.
Alright, that might be a little too much here. I don't think Impaling Wire is that strong, but it was a lot, I will say. But I think Zarina's going to be getting down here, not going to be able to make it to the window. No one to take a hit. Not really being able to mimic that sort of hit and run play style that we saw from not hit and run, sorry, hit taking. Oh my god!
The
comp players cannot hit flashlight saves. My goodness, every time it's always too early. Oh my, I don't know if it's ping difference or if it's just, I don't know, man.
Depending on who that was, it could have been ping diff, because I believe Rin is North American, whereas Slow and Mad are both EU. So let's see who had that flashlight. It was Slow.
Maybe Jim.
Okay.
Oh dear.
But yeah, that was a good angle to say the very least.
That would have been absolutely amazing if that was able to connect, but unfortunately not. Now, for every single comp game I've ever casted in my career where people have been going for flashlights, they just never get it. And it's so unfortunate to see, because you can hit the most insane of angles from across the map, bloody double lenses, etc. Not really, but it just, you never see it happen, and it's so unfortunate because it puts Zaka in such a strong position at this point of the trial here, and Eternal want this set point, and they want it bad. We see the second stage already, and the first gen has only just now been completed. Zaka getting that information by sending off the chain towards those close by gens as well, seeing there's no one there and forcing this kill here.
Yeah, keep in mind that Slow only got 4 stages. So if Chrissy dies and then another survivor gets hooked, that's already best case scenario. It's a tie for goals. Best case scenario.
A very heavy emphasis on best case here is if we have one survivor getting forced death on, then why not 2?
Yeah, and we do see the Noed in the back pocket, and Noed typically guarantees 1 kill. Typically, there are those edge cases where like you cleanse the Noed and you get the save, but you're still gonna get a hook there. And then there are those like very edge cases where Noed gets cleansed before it gets any value. But Chrissy's out of the game very early on. Unfortunately
so. Thanks for playing, I guess. But that was a very unfortunate whiff for the chain there. I can't quite trace on which survivor that was, but they are around this water tower area making some distance. Zaka not actually going to send out the chain here. We have some pretty decent gen pressure coming out from Golden Wolves in retaliation, though, as we have our second gen being completed with a third with a bit of progress, but Zaka should very well be able to shut that down here. Now, it's interesting to note that we still have the main building generator available with 2 gens very close by to it, so taking chase around this area is really not what you want for Golden Wolves. It's as nice as it is looping main building, it's the worst place to be looping right now, to be honest.
Yeah, and Zaka, I don't know why we were spinning in circles, but and it looks like we have a little bit of a bugged chain thing there on the screen. It was just kind of awkwardly sitting there. But Zaka did see, I believe this is gonna be Mad. So I'm working on the generator. He's gonna opt the chase. Because I think by now everyone knows that Slow is an incredible survivor in chase. So even Zaka doesn't want to take the chase, just wants to go for someone else. And the missed chain onto Matt is going to buy quite a bit of distance, but we also had Rin working on this generator, and this is just demonstrating exactly why it's a bad idea to chase around main building, like you pointed out. But Rin should be taking an M1 here. Slow picks up the box. Last second is going to go for it. And the teleport comes through from Zaka. And it should be a hit at the window, or I don't know why I thought there was a window here, but oh my god, Slow with the BM stops to pick up his flashlight. Wow. that is some BM if I've seen it.
That is quite cheeky of Slow, but he is still gonna get hit in result of it though. Gonna path away from this main building 3 gen as much as possible. Zaka using his power, being unable to get that hit through the medium vault here, but this should be it for Slow here. Won't be able to make it back to the window here unless he full commits to it, and he does. Zaka unable to read that one, but this is where Slow goes down, unfortunately. Wait! Hold on a minute.
This is why Slow is such a good survivor. Wait, Zaka has Bloodlust too. The new Bloodlust change is finally coming into effect.
Jesus.
And we've been touting this all season. Slow is such a good survivor. And I think that chase shows exactly why. However, with Slow being hooked, you are now best case scenario tie game for Golden Wolves.
We do see another gen popping though. There is only one gen left to be completed. It was the main building gen that did get done though, however, but we have an incredible split of the gens at almost polar opposite sides of the map here. Good use of the pallet here, but that impaling wire is going to allow Zaka to get that hit there. Ace taking the chase away from the hook as much as possible. Unable to curve that chain around well enough. Ace should be able to make enough distance to the best ballot in Dead Dog Saloon that you'll ever find. And there it goes.
This should be a down onto Rin. The chain hunt about to take effect. And, ooh, but Mad waits to the last possible second to grab the box. But with this hook, this is going to be Eternal taking round number 1. And we are going to be chasing after Matt, who is holding that box. This could go very poorly for Golden Wolves.
Wow. And being able to dodge out that chain is huge because, oh my gosh! Gets hit through that pallet drop. That is so unfortunate. I've been seeing a lot more of that on this patch, to be honest, but not getting hit through that one though. Managing to last a little bit longer here. Still carrying that box here. We've got a little bit of deja vu right now. Zaka doubles back this time, which is good, but Mad should be able to make it to the shack pallet here, and we do see it getting dropped. But having to hold on to that box, impaling wire plus constant chain hunt equals very, very unfun chase. We are going to be seeing Zaka getting this box eventually.
Yeah, Mad, all things considered, did a really good job keeping the box away for as long as possible, but at the end of the day, like you said, constant chain hunt plus impaling wire equals not fun. And we do see the scratch marks, but Zaka decides not to go for it. Instead, just wants to be able to kick on this generator, make sure that things aren't getting done on the survivor side. But right now, it's just going to be, you gotta find the box to do it. Slow, having a bit of a hard time. And we do see Zaka being able to get the interruption on it. However, isn't going to follow up on it. Just going to pressure the hook. Make sure you can get extra stages.
Zaka knows exactly what's going on there. When you're in the full chain hunt with the box, trying to solve it is an absolute nightmare with all those extra chains targeting you. You just have to kind of wait it out and break all of those chains, but oh, he still goes for the chain and manages to land it, which will get a hit onto Slow because of it.
I mean, wow. Are you surprised at Zaka we're talking about? He is probably one of the most confident killers in the league, with good reason for it. I mean, MVP candidates, you know,
Zaka the
all
monster,
that stuff. Just very casual MVP candidate. Speaking of which, the voting for awards has closed, and I have calculated the results for the 3 big awards. Really exciting stuff. Can't speak too much about it though. Zaka
Very nice.
decides to drop the chase and is gonna go for Rin, goes down, and this is going to be another hook. This is looking to be a 4K because the survivors just really aren't able to work on gens.
We saw a really nice balanced landing play from Mad though to be able to get away from that chase. So we saw Zaka opting to go for the ace instead. Still managing to get that reset through though with the Soppy Butcher active. Really, really nice to see. Now, are we going to be seeing slow juice up for the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, and again, we're going to be chasing slow. Let's see if we can get another great chase out of him. We do have Rin being picked or pulled off the hook. Zaka not quite able to get the chain through the window and is instead going to be going back to the hook. Mad, ooh, gets the stun. And
really learned from last time with that one.
Yeah, yeah, drop it like half a second. These survivors are just learning. Zaka likes to hit around corners. Oh, but the standstill mind game works out and Rin goes down. This is going to be the kill onto Rin. And Slow gets the box before the chain hunt starts, so there won't be that difficulty. And Rin is going to be out of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what these other survivors are doing at the moment. Flo obviously wanting that exhaustion back sooner rather than later. It sucks that we have lost Rin though, because that was our adrenaline later. Excuse me. Not really much to do in the end game now, even though Nowhere's going to be coming into play. We saw from Eternal the things that you can do with adrenaline, so it's unfortunate that that won't be available for Golden Wolves, but Zaka doing an absolutely insane job at tracking down where our last survivors are here. We've spotted Mad. We're going to be taking another chase with him here.
Yeah, Mad running over by the water tower. You do still have the pallet up, but deciding not to run around it, which is fair. Typically, as we've seen, you don't want to be running around that pallet because you get hit with a chain and then you just go down. That's how it goes. Even if you're full health, you just get hit with the chain and then you're instantly dead. That's just how it goes. And Zaka,
he's just doing a little bit of a bush check here.
I was a little bit confused, although it does make sense that he would check the bushes. I know a friend of mine, if we're going for this map, he will just put on full P3 Claudette and become the bush. So I guess it's fair to be swinging through bushes on this map, but the taunt from Slow. Tries to FOV tech the chain, doesn't quite get it. However, it doesn't matter. Gets the pallet drop instead. Slow gets hit over the pallet. I don't know what this chase was.
Honestly, I can count the pixels on my screen right now, and I could not see how that hit landed. But we do see the last gen popping across the way. Mad running like mad to that door, hopefully being able to get it open before our good friend Mr. Pinghead comes over and says something about it. So we do have to know it active. Mad is in a very bad spot here, but does manage to get the door open and get the escape. Wait, hold on.
No,
not just yet. The chains.
Okay.
He managed to break off the last chain at just the perfect time. Wow. By the skin of his teeth, Mad manages to get out the Mad lad, but that will result in the set point to Eternal, starting off these losers finals here.
Yeah, I have no idea what the score is right now. So again, give me a second. You see, normally I have the score ready by the time we're done because it doesn't end that quickly. That was a really fast ending. So quick maths.
Just while you're telling up those scores, though, It's really interesting to see. I think my new favorite perk, not so much from this patch, but just in general, no one left behind. It's honestly one of my favorite perks to run like in the game at all. More so for the bonus blood points, but the faster action speeds for healing, unhooking can really come in clutch in an end game scenario. So seeing as Mad was the one that escaped with that no one left behind is a little ironic, but what do you got for us, Will?
All right, final score 42-22. So a very dominant performance from Eternal to start, and I think it's going to be the same lobby, so we should be getting into our next game, which is also going to be on the Dead Dog Saloon, our Wraith round. We'll be getting to that right after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 2. Although it may not look like it because we are on the same exact map. It is the Wraith round, though, so it's a very different beast. We have Zaka playing the Wraith, bringing that Call of Brine that seems to have become so prevalent in the meta so far. Keeping in mind that it's been less than a week since the patch, so this is just the best players, their view on what is going to be meta, and it looks like Mad was just playing that window trying to get the mind game. Does end up taking that hit, and Zaka gonna be just following up, gonna double vault the window, and I don't gets the block on the window, is gonna force the pallet drop, but the pallet is going to be torn through by that shadow dance. The question is, what happens now? Oh, the grab! Wow, okay, I thought it was just gonna be hit over the pallet, but no, the grab instead saves quite a few extra seconds, actually. And at this level of gameplay and on this killer, a few seconds means the world.
Now, I am shocked to see that Zaka isn't opting to break that breakable door on the shack there to really shut down that loop entirely, but a very nice hit onto Nancy here on the gallows. We're going to be seeing that sloppy butcher once again, as well as some Call of Brine value. So we also see that some gens do have a decent amount of progress here. Unable to get that hit at the pallet here. Still chasing out Nancy here. Rin doing a pretty good job at this loop here. Manages to get a safe vault over the pallet here. Playing the bad side of it and manages to get away with it as well. But not for much longer.
Yeah, and we do have a spectator bug. This is a new one. I don't know how to fix it. So we're just gonna have to deal with some deafened audio until...
I was gonna say something actually.
Yeah. We'll have to deal with some deafened audio until it fixes itself. You see, I only know the causes and fixes for various bugs on the spectator because I've encountered them before. If I've never encountered them before, how can I know? And yeah, this is new. At least new for me. So
this is definitely something I've never seen before either, so bear with us everyone if we make some mistakes here and there. We do not have any audio of the game whatsoever, so we see the unhook by Claudette here, manages to get slapped onto Claude, and it's gonna go back for Rin, I believe, would be the best thing to go for here. And we do see Rin suck at this pallet and gets grabbed.
It's a grab again.
Wow.
You can't be doing this.
The time save from getting a grab, honestly, in some cases against some killers, you'd want to force grabs to prevent stuff like slugging. But in this scenario, when you're playing Wraith on Dead Dog, like, getting a grab just means it's a couple of seconds shaved off, you know? We are going to see the reset getting caught out here. Claudette not being able to get reset in time. Sloppy Butcher's just going to completely regress all of the heal progress. Going to have to set up for reset once again. That's another thing that, like, with the bringing of the new patch, that I start to realize more and more is how crucial Sloppy Butcher is into builds like this. As if you get caught out in a bad spot with a reset, you actually have to be a lot more careful with how you plan where you go to reset, because if that gets interrupted, it's just all gone.
Yeah, because you've been gone for a while, so you actually missed it. The Hemorrhage rework was I believe it was the mid-chapter patch. No. It
was before
happened.
then.
It happened a little while ago. So we've been seeing this sloppy butcher for a little bit of time. And wait, Rin died.
Oh.
Okay, something went horribly wrong in the Golden Wolves comms for Rin to die. I don't know what happened, but something happened.
Yeah, like that's actually really bad. Only having the first 2 gens done and still 2 people injured, having to deal with sloppy. But the fast vault on the window will save Sluggalio for a little bit longer here. The other survivors really need to position themselves into a spot to reset and then start getting these gens done again. But with 1 less survivor at this point of the trial, it's going to be so much more difficult. Oh my, I felt that hit for a second.
Yeah. The stun gets rid of the bloodlust, but Zaka gets it back once again, and with some quick mind games, Slow goes down. I'll be honest, whenever I see a killer start to mind game, obviously this may not work because these guys are a lot better than I am. Whenever I see a killer start to mind game, I just hold W to the next tile, and then the killer I'm going against is just wondering like, where did they go? But that's gonna be Slow getting thrown on the hook, and another survivor being caught right off the bat. That is Mado5 getting spotted. It should just be a 1-for-1 here. That's exactly what happens. But that base kit BT, oh, Slow knows it's over.
Oh dear. Things are just spiraling into madness now. Now it's interesting to see that Mad has been really caught at all of these windows. Zaka's done an amazing job at getting the body blocks to stop that vault from happening. But do we not have a survivor here? Azarina's already over at Shack going for the pickup onto our Nancy here.
We don't have a Nancy.
Nancy? No, not Nancy. Sorry. White. I saw the white shirt and I thought it was a Nancy, but that is in fact Ace.
Yep. And what it went from looking like they were giving up to now 2 survivors are back up, Slow getting picked up, no more slugs. And Mad and Chrissy should try to go for a reset, but at the same time Zaka will probably be able to interrupt it wherever they are. Zaka knows where both survivors are, just saw Mad and is now going to be chasing Chrissy. Forces that pallet to get dropped. Do we see the grab? Nope. Chrissy was far enough over the pallet, so just goes for the M1. And that was a bit of a Pokos hit, if you ask me.
Yeah, that was another Zaka special right there. Big old slap over the pallet now. Jumping into the locker? Is that we saw a loud noise notification just
that was the
without the
fastball
noise
through the window.
Ah, righto. Yeah, it just perfectly lined up with the locker, so I got a bit confused. But our survivors are doing a good job at least splitting up at this point because, you know, the pressure is really on. A beautiful pallet stun though, while in power as well, so that's a longer stun duration there. Excellent work by Sluggalio, living up to the name.
Yeah, and we do have Zaka kind of just playing the hit and run Wraith, where you just go for 1 survivor, get the hit, go for another survivor. And I mean, as you can see, it's clearly working. Mad is down once again, getting thrown on the hook. I think this might be the first hook for Mad. No, one of these survivors are fresh hook. It's Chrissy.
If
okay.
I had to guess, yeah, I thought so because we have seen Slow getting hooked a fair bit. But yeah, I guess at this point, in a perfect world, you'd want Chrissy to get a hatch escape, right?
I mean, in a perfect world, yes, but we've seen shockingly few hatch escapes this season. And Slow goes for the double vault. Unfortunately, once you drop this pallet, it's not really safe, and Flo was forced to drop it so that he wasn't able to run anywhere. So this is going to be the death onto Slow, and now there are only 2 survivors in the trial, and Zaka looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, like I'd say from the sounds of things, but we don't have any sound. But that gen was very close to being completed, which is now the Call of Brind. Big double vault from Zug, triple vault even to throw off Mad over at the shack here. Doesn't get body blocked at the window this time, but is gonna get caught with the trousers down here. Not gonna be able to make that vault in time. Zaka just throws his club at him, knocks him onto the ground, and we only have one survivor up at the moment. Chrissy yet to be hooked, walking around, fearing for their life.
Yeah, and it's going to be a matter of time before Zaka finds Chrissy here. There are only so many places you can hide on this map. Zaka gonna kick this gen and gonna be following after where Chrissy was. Just a matter of when it happened. Zaka. Ooh, somehow Chrissy has managed to disappear in time, hiding behind a rock. And I don't remember what the offerings were at the start, but given where Chrissy is, I imagine it is going to be a Vigo's blueprint, putting that hatch at the main building.
I think we saw an annotated blueprint though, if I'm not mistaken, which would spawn at a shack, but spawning hatch at main on Dead Dog, I feel like is the better pick, and I will die on that hill.
Fair enough. I don't remember what hatch they brought, but Chrissy just walking around trying not to get caught. Mad05 trying to cross the map. I think if you're Mad, you just need to get into one corner, have Chrissy hide in the other corner, hope that it's Vigo's, or at least we're hoping it's Vigo's. So that way, either Mad bleeds out or Chrissy gets hatch. One or the other.
Yeah, bleed out would be really nice for Golden Wolves, but we do end up finding Mad. I completely lost my train of thought, my apologies, but that is Dead Hook on to Mad. I think we do have hatch at the shack, as we see Zaka positioning over for that hatch to open up. Now, I believe Chrissy is positioning for a door here, but I don't think they'll be able to get out in time, as we have very similar door spawns to what we saw on the last map as well. This door was where we saw the escape happen from Mad, actually, against the Cenobite, I believe. So we'll have to wait and see how Chrissy plays this one, but Zaka has very good vision on both of these doors.
Yeah, Zaka's just gonna be looking back and forth for a little bit, so I kind of want to spectate Chrissy, see what the move here is. See the scratch, or does a bit of a run. Zaka doesn't see Chrissy yet.
And still not yet. I think Chrissy has timed this absolutely perfectly. I think Zaka did see some scratch marks there. Chrissy was running around a bit, so we are gonna get caught here, unfortunately, but there is Chrissy.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is Golden Wolves only finished 2 generators.
Ooh, beautiful stun by Chrissy though. Ain't no flick wraith happening here, but it's just a matter of time before we get that final hook and that 4K with, yeah, only 2 gens got completed, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. Chrissy jumps into a locker, knows it's over. And that is going to be a score at the end of this game of 28-4. That is not the performance you want if you're Golden Wolves. And I'm trying to stay upbeat about this, but this is just a massive tempo difference between the 2 teams.
You can really see that Eternal is putting absolutely everything into trying to make their way back into the finals here, and poor Golden Wolves has to cop the brunt of it, but that is the win to Eternal from from this game here. Now, I believe we're going to be swapping over to Golden Wolves on the Wraith this time. All right, after the quick break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to what should be our last game of the day. Slow has an impossibly difficult task ahead of him, 4K'ing the survivors of Eternal with 4 generators remaining. When I say that is impossibly difficult, I mean it is very much difficult. And already we have 2 survivors here. I believe that we're chasing Zaka right now, but I believe we also had Nightlight on the upper floor, probably trying to get some work done on this generator. We also have Royalty. We know where all 4 survivors are, basically. And looking at the build, this is actually the first time we're seeing Pain Resonance this tournament.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are, really upset about the pain res change, but it's nice to see that Slow still bringing it out. Obviously trying to get as much slowdown stacking as possible here. Not quite being able to track Claudette here, but should be able to get the hit past that pallet there. Royalty pathing back towards the main building here. Very easily has a lot of resources to use on the way as well. Manages to get the vault here and still has the pallet. Gets
nice
the stun. Gets that stun onto Slow, and where did they go? We do have Lucky Break on this Claudette though, so a little bit more difficult than normal to track, but not able to get the hit through that pallet either. Slow is blessed with decent ping, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, ping is good.
Yeah. But Claudette should be able to make it to this pallet. Oh my god, not even. Royalty goes down here. And hopefully we have a Scourge or close by for Slow to start getting some pain res stack in here. We already see a gen is very close to being completed here. To make that 2 gens, the main building pops, and we have Gallows about to be completed as well. Let's see what Slow does here.
Yeah, and of course, Eternal being Eternal, they get the stave right off the bat. And I imagine we'll be seeing 2 more generators popping in the near future. Royalty, however, is going to get tunneled for the moment. The question is, how long can Royalty stay alive? And gets the vault over the pallet, so a decent amount of time.
Wow.
And goodbye win condition.
Unfortunately so, yes. The win condition is gone, but there's still fun to be had here. Claudette is very easily going to make it to this pallet. Manages to get the double vault as well. Slow swings for those. And Nightlight coming in for a hit as well. Going to be taking the chase now to the main building. I want to see a very nice... Oh, he gets blocked by the pallets! Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, getting blocked on collision is not fun, but Nightlight does go down. Possibly a consolation prize for Slow. Just be like, hey, we know you lost. Here, have a hook. And we do have Williawesome possibly being a little bit cheeky, not even pre-running. And we do have the survivors of Eternal. Slow, a great body block. Ooh, but the borrowed time comes in. This is going to be the Shack pallet getting thrown down. And Slow having to uncloak, gets the hit onto Zaka. And I imagine the other survivors, Bubbo and Royalty, are working on the last 2 generators. Just trying to do Eternal things.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we should be seeing those last 2 gens popping not too far off. And we see one of them here, actually, where Zaka has taken this chase to here. Gets a really nice vault back just in time. Alright, I might have lied a bit. This gen doesn't have as much progress as I thought, but Ace is not able to make it to that window there. Gets tagged. 3 survivors injured right now. Definitely some snowball potential for Slow here, but unfortunately to what avail.
And it looks like Williawesome should be going down. Doesn't quite make it to the pallet. The extra movement speed coming out of the cloak, and this should be a basement hook, but no, Slow's just going to go for the hook that's right here. Possibly a Scourge hook. It's hard to tell now that the gen doesn't explode and you don't have that scream.
I mean, I think it still gives off a loud noise notification.
Nope, it does not.
It doesn't make people's. Oh, it doesn't.
Nope, no loud noise notification.
Oh wow, so it just does the regression.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
So, looks like we're gonna be in a chase with Royalty. Drops the pallet. The question is, can Slow get the hits? Quick little double back and Royalty goes down. So the answer is yes. And this is going to be the second hook onto Royalty. And it looks like we have Zaka crossing the way for the save onto Bubzopper.
It's still really nice to see though that Slow is still getting a little bit of a build-up of momentum here. And Ace obviously going to take the BT hit here, still has it active at the moment. Slow's not going to fall for that and wants to go straight for the Nia here. Zaka back in the chase, but back to the hook maybe? Oh, Ace does a beautiful job at vaulting that pallet so that Slow can't break it, but still gets the break. Going to be able to block the window in time, so it's just going to uncloak and check to see if anyone's going for the unhook, which we do not see, but we do see Slow breaking the breakable door at Shack.
Did you just see that?
I don't think I did, actually.
Wraith? Wait. Why does
What did I
Wraith look
miss?
like that? What is Wraith? Just no. Just look at Slow. Why is his body like that?
I can't tell what you're talking about right here. It's almost impossible for me to see, but
I am so sorry.
Doing some work.
I am so sorry. Yeah, my internet has always been an issue. Huge props to the casters. Seriously, I have what you see on screen. They have a very pixelated version because my internet isn't strong enough, and I literally cannot get stronger internet. I guess you'll just have to look at the VOD then. I don't know what to say, but basically, broken Wraith.
Taking down notes. Nightlight is still gonna go down at this exact same pallet. Unfortunately, it's just too easy for Slow. But with another side, Bubzopper on the ground here. Slow is trying to hook at the same hook here, but does get picked up actually. So that's good for Boba to get away from that. And that's the kill onto Nightlight actually.
Yeah, I mean, while we've been joshing about broken character models, this match has been very weird, to say the very least. I think I know what's going on. I'm not particularly a fan of it. It looks like they just want to be over with it. I think they just want to be done. They know Eternal is won, and they're just trying to end the match. And it looks like we're going to have a 1v1, maybe?
Big 1v1s at Shack. Yeah. Oh, Ace doesn't drop this pallet. Doesn't get hit through that one either. Still another pallet close by to use here. Ace absolutely juicing up in this chase here, as we see. Is he gonna let him pick up, or?
I think so.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay, I think they're trolling at this point. That sounds about right.
Oh, now that Nightlight's gone, it's all fun and games now.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not particularly happy with what's going on. Woo! As an event host, I am not happy with this.
As the co-caster, it's not my problem to worry about that. So I am enjoying what I'm seeing, even if it's in
that is fair.
Countable pixels on the screen. Bubzopper still going down at that pallet though. Big old taste. And you just can't win this pallet. If Zaka wins this pallet somehow, then nah, it's not real.
Okay. I think Zaka might win the pallet just because you ran away.
Oh, he still respects it though. He's winning it.
Oh my god.
This has got to be just a little silly goofy right now. What? He still hasn't dropped it. Zaka, you monster.
And, okay. Okay, at least the dumb tech didn't work.
Oh, this is looking like it's going to be a 4K for Sogalio, though, for Golden Wolves here.
Like I said, I'm not happy with the heavy amount of trolling that is going on. Mainly because it makes my job of keeping score damn near impossible. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, I see what you're talking about now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that is... Oh my good god.
Okay, now you see it.
Slow. What is going on, man? Jesus. It's nice to see that we do a little bit of trolling. It is obviously that Golden Wolves aren't able to get the win here, but the fact that these players can still, you know, muck around a bit and still have some fun with it is always a good sign of good sportsmanship, you know?
I mean, I'm not a particularly fan of it because I run this tournament and I'm expecting serious gameplay, not farming.
Well, too bad. You've got a pub game now.
I've realized that.
Alright, well, all being said and done though, big props to Eternal for managing to pull this one back and getting out of the losers finals to play against Trauma tomorrow at 4 p.m. GMT. Right here at twitch.tv/DBDLeague.
And right now, we're just waiting. There's the hit over the pallet. And given how the past 5 minutes have been going, I'm going to guarantee that slow gives Bubble Hatch. Yep. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Love at first sight. Bulbuzava, Love Heart, Slogalio. Everyone update your Steam names real quick.
Alright, and I do have the final score because I just gave up on casting that match.
What's that final score, Will?
It is 43-21. I had to type it on screen first. 43-21. Eternal wins 2-0, and that is that. So I'm not particularly happy with that last game, but other than that, this has been a good match.
The way I see it, that's got to be the highlight of the night, day, wherever it is everyone's from. I know there's a few Aussies up at this ridiculous hour, so
I mean, yeah,
shout
like
out
you.
to my fellow Aussies. Well, I think at this point in time, it's a good time to give a big thank you to, I would say, everyone working behind the scenes, but that everyone is just Will.
We aren't done yet. We're gonna try and get an interview going. Then we do the post show.
Ah,
Spoker,
right. I just wanted to thank you, Will, for doing a good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you haven't been here a while, but we saved the thank yous for the post show, which will be after the interview. So we'll get to that interview and we'll start wrapping up.